All right. Dealing with anger. As a guy, I understand our high testosterone, or as it's coursing through us as teenagers, we find it hard to control our anger. But over the past 4 or 5 months, I've found that some of the best ways to deal with anger is pretty simple. It's just meditation, gratitude journaling, and standard journaling. I always would put this off at the start of my self improvement journey. I would be like, oh, it's not that important. I don't need it. It's gay because everyone in my school was like, "Oh, if you journal, you're gay." It's really not. It is very important, and even if you don't want others to know about it, just keep it in your room. Like I have mine, just right here. I keep it in my room, and it doesn't really leave my room. Um, and you know the feeling that you get angry at someone or something, you don't feel good afterwards, and my goal is that you don't have to feel that anymore because over the past, like I said, over the past 4 or 5 months, I haven't been angry like at anything at all, and I felt amazing. And that is another aspect that I would talk about in a separate video. Making sure your dopamine is high on good dopamine, not the crappy dopamine from scrolling, all that stuff. But first, we're going to talk about gratitude journaling before we get on to the other topics. So, gratitude journaling, you want to reflect on your day. So, you do this either, I like to do it right before I go to bed, or you can do it right when you wake up. I haven't really done that ever. I'm assuming it's just because you reflect on the day, like the rest of the day. Because then you're thinking about that person for the rest of the day, like you're grateful for them or that thing. I prefer to do it at night, but your preference. So gratitude journaling, quite simple. Like I said, reflect on your day. So you just title it. Title it with the date. So today is January 29th, 2024. And then you would go, I'm grateful for Matthew Walker. No, I'm grateful to Matthew Walker for writing a good sleep book. And then, because maybe you read that book to that day, so you can reflect on that. And you could do, it's good to do more, but if you want to start with one, that's okay. You say, I'm grateful to my mother for cooking good meals if you still live with your mom, just like I do. And you can go on for as many as you want, or if you just want to do one because you're just starting out, that is okay. But I do recommend that as you get more advanced, you do at minimum like 3 to 5. That's what I do in my gratitude journal. And you could do this online or in an actual journal like I showed you. I find a better aspect with writing on paper, like it feels more purposeful, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I don't like doing it online, but if you'd like to, because it's easier, that's okay. And then in the next section, we'll talk about journaling. All right, journaling. This is a very important topic. I'm assuming you've watched the last topic about gratitude journaling. Also, a very important topic. Meditation. We will talk about that in a separate video. I'm not sure if I say that in the beginning, but we will talk about meditation because that also helps in a separate video. Journaling. This is the part that everyone thinks is gay. It's really not. If you overthink a lot like I do, this is extremely valuable, even more than the standard person who doesn't overthink as much as maybe you do, or just like I do. So journaling. It's very similar to gratitude journaling, except you're not going, oh, I'm grateful. You're not going like that. You still title it January. I spelled that wrong. January 29th, 2024. And then you reflect on your day. So you do this right when you wake up, right when you go to bed, just so you can reflect on each part of your day. And if you just write down your thoughts, so today Bob was nice but annoying. I don't know, something like that. It's just you want to reflect on what happened in that day, and it just helps get all your thoughts on paper, so you're not constantly they're all just rattling around your head. And if you're in math, like geometry, for example, if you overthink, you're dead. So I found that when I started journaling, my math grade in geometry just shot up because it was easy. I stopped overthinking, and it became easy. And gratitude journaling doesn't have to be, or not gratitude journaling, normal journaling doesn't have to be long. Like, for example, I've had gratitude, or not gratitude, I keep saying that. I've had journals where it's like this short, but I've also had journals where it's like almost all the way down to the end of the page. So if your gratitude journal is like, or not gratitude, if your journal entry for that day is like a paragraph, that's okay. I've had days where I don't really do anything that important that I want to write about. So it's a super short paragraph. And then I've also had days where I did a lot. So I take up almost sometimes 2 pages. And that's okay. It just gets all your thoughts on paper. All right, one final section that I forgot to talk about. Where do you put your anger when you're not directing it at people? And yeah, where do you put it? For some people, it might just dissipate, but for most people, like you and me, it's not just going to dissipate. We need some place to put it. So I found the best place to do it is strength training through weights. Whenever you have all that anger built up, and if you put it into something like that, it feels better almost. That's just through what I've found, and I feel like I can go much harder. Like, if you know what RPE is, I feel like I can go past RPE 10 when I put anger, like the anger builds up through the day, when I put it into weightlifting instead of a person.